Hello guys, welcome to Weighintime. I am Patrick and it is Mindful Monday. Before we get on with today's episode, I want to make sure that you're drinking some water. You need at least 2.5 litres of water every single day. This, as always, you know, is your water reminder. I want to thank everyone for likes and comments on the last Mindful Monday video. If you haven't seen it, it will be linked above and also in the description below. And it was a taste of what mindfulness is. Now, as the Mindful Mondays do progress, I will be going more into mindfulness and how I think it will benefit you, whether you're suffering from anxiety or you're suffering from depression, you've got troubles losing weight, and also you've just got problems in your day-to-day life and work life. Mindfulness is definitely a practice which I know will work for you. Before we get started on mindful eating and the whole practice and why it works and what it is, I want to let you know of something very, very exciting. I am becoming a life coach. I want to thank everybody for over the years who have suggested me becoming a life coach, and I have finally listened to you, so thank you very, very much. More details are to follow, but if you would like to find out more, go to weighintime.com and then click on the Life Coach tab. Mindful eating, that is the whole subject of today's video, and it's something which I feel very, very strongly about, because not only does it help you slow down, but it also helps you appreciate your eating, and it can help in slimming because it will mean that you're fuller quicker. And for me, if somebody would have said, I'm going to tell you a way of you seeing a big plate of tasty food in front of you and then leaving something on the plate at the end of it because you're too full, I would have been like, have you met me? But no, this does genuinely work. And this is why I thought it would be so perfect for Mindful Monday. Now, there is a practice, and the analogy they actually use is a raisin. You don't have to use a raisin. Don't worry. If you don't have one of those little packs of raisins, it is fine. You can absolutely use anything. But this is how mindful eating works. As you might have already guessed, mindfulness is about basically paying attention to the moment, living right here and right now, not worrying about the past, not worrying about the future. And we spend 47% of our entire life thinking about the past or the future. Now, we have no control over the past. We don't really have any control over the future because, let's face it, how many times have you planned something and it hasn't quite gone right? So the moment that you need to be concentrating on is right here, right now. And an excellent way to practice this and get really good at it is mindful eating. Mindful eating is about paying attention to your food and every part of it and savoring every part of it. Now, this can even start when you're thinking, oh, I'm hungry. And then you can start thinking, okay, I'm hungry. I know I need food. What does that feel like? What does your brain think about this? How is your brain feeling? You know, like, for example, Adam, my husband, he gets very hangry. So he knows, I know as well what he's like when he's hungry. But so start thinking about the kind of the emotions and the feelings that you're going on in your head when you think, I'm actually quite hungry. Now, whether or not you've had a stressful day and you're like, right, I'm hungry, I want a McDonald's. Think about those feelings and those emotions and what are making you hungry. Now, I have said this before, sometimes if you do feel hungry, try drinking some water beforehand if it's not a breakfast, lunch or dinner. So if it is a snack, try drinking some water beforehand, because your brain is very misleading sometimes. Sometimes that you can think you're hungry, but you're actually thirsty. So say you've drunk some water, you realise that you are hungry, okay? Start thinking about that emotion and start thinking about how your stomach is, how you are just in general feeling. Now, once you have made your food and once you have created this masterpiece of food in front of you, if you're anything like I used to be, I'll just eat it. That's it. I'll probably have the TV on. I'll possibly be scrolling on my phone while I'm eating it. I'm not really paying attention to what's going on in front of me. And then all of a sudden, your food's gone and you're like, right, what's for dessert? That's the way it always used to be. The thought of somebody actually telling me that there'll be food left on the plate at the end of my meal was just just amazing to me. But the reason is I wasn't thinking about the food I was eating. All I was doing was just eating the food. Now, mindful eating practice is about paying attention to every single thing or every aspect of that meal. So there are so many senses going on when you're about to consume food or you're about to eat. Now, first of all, you've got so many senses. Obviously, you've got eyes. So how appealing does the food look? Now, trust me, I make some food that doesn't look that appealing, but you have to pay attention to it. So the first part about mindful eating is the seeing. Or if it is something which you can pick up, so like a grape or an orange segment, the first step is the feeling. So for example, I eat a lot of oranges. All right, my whole experience of eating an orange has changed. So when I get an easy peeler, I have a segment, and I'll have a segment in my hands, and I'll just hold it for a little while and just see what it feels like. And then once you've started feeling what it feels like and how it can, like how it moves in your fingers and in your hand, then I always just give it a little smell. Now, this honestly, if you did this in public, people wouldn't think you were weird, all right, honestly. But after you've felt it and you've kind of just, even if this just takes a second just to feel it and actually pay attention to what it feels like, and then smell it, because oranges are a perfect example of something which just smells absolutely amazing. But how many people smell an orange before you eat it? No one. So just smell the orange and savor that feeling. Now, when you smell the orange, it's working on me right now because I'm talking about it and my mouth is salivating. So when you're like feeling it or when you're smelling the orange, see what happens to your senses. So see, for example, I'm thinking about holding this orange and eating this orange, and now I'm getting actually saliva in my mouth. So does this happen to you? Think about the process that your brain goes through when you're actually about to consume it. So smell it, feel it, and then maybe see what your senses are saying. And then once you've kind of made a mental note of those, then you can put it in your mouth. Once you put it in your mouth, just hold it there for a little while and then see what happens. Does more saliva turn up? Do you just get this really instant craving to bite down on it? Can you still smell it? Just think about what your brain, what your senses are going through once that orange segment or whatever it is on your tongue. Once you've done that, just obviously bite it. Now just bite it once or twice. Just let all of the juices of the orange or whatever it is just kind of just explode, and just feel what they feel like, what the taste buds are, what sensations that you're going through, and just kind of take a mental note of what you're experiencing in this moment. And then obviously chew like normal, and just chew until you get this urge to swallow the orange segment. Okay, just chew until you get this urge, and then think about whether or not your brain is telling you, right, you should swallow now. Just think about the whole aspect of that. Now, once you've swallowed the orange segment or whatever it is, then just try and feel the sensation of what happens, where it goes down, if you can still, like, if you can feel it going down, whatever it is, whatever sensation that you can feel. And then feel or experience the residual, what's left in the mouth, what you can still taste in your mouth. And do that more and more. Now, this, obviously me explaining this is taking a lot longer than it would if you were to actually do it. This can just take a few seconds, but it's about not paying attention to what the TV is or what's on the TV. Now, I might even go as far as to say, if you are eating food, comment below if you do watch TV while eating food, because I am one of these people, which I know is really bad. But if you are one of these people, maybe consider, while you're having your meal, turn the TV off, because studies also show that you spend a lot more time savouring and enjoying food if you're not actually watching TV, because all you're doing is actually enjoying the food. But this whole process can only take, a few seconds dependent. But try and do that at least once every meal or a few times every meal for a whole week. The more you practice mindfulness and techniques like mindful eating, the more your brain gets trained on it. And I generally will tell you that the more you do mindfulness, the more you just get used to it, and it happens without even thinking. I mean, for example, I don't generally tend to worry that much anymore. I don't generally tend to think about the past because I know that the past is there, but it doesn't matter. The past has happened. I know that the future is there, but I don't know what's going to happen in the future. If you would have told me 4 years ago I'd have a YouTube channel and, I'd be talking about mindfulness, I'd have been like, what's mindfulness? I wouldn't have thought, right, I'm going to do that. So the future is not written in stone. So just pay attention to what's going on around you. And mindful eating is a great way of practicing mindfulness, but also by helping your weight loss routine and helping your weight loss. The longer time you take and the more you savor and the more you enjoy your food, the slower you eat it. Now, I don't know if you know this. I mean, I've known this for quite a while. It actually takes 20 minutes for your brain to actually catch up with your stomach. So if you've had a massive amount of food and you're like, I'm still hungry, it's probably just because your brain hasn't caught up with your stomach. And then all of a sudden your brain catches up and then you're like, oh, I'm so full. Just slow down and savor every bite, savor every aspect of that food. And I guarantee that you will enjoy meals a lot more, and you'll probably see old things that you used to eat and you'll be like, oh God, I really didn't know how good this was because I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't mindful eating. So that is what mindful eating is. I'm going to be going more into mindfulness and everything on Mindful Mondays every Monday. If you've got any comments or you've got any, if you do this or if you've not really heard of mindfulness, drop it into the comment section below because I'm really enjoying making these videos, and helping people is something which, I really, really enjoy doing. So I'm going to very much try my best. And if you've got any comments or, anything at all, just drop it into the comment section below. And thank you very much for watching. I hope it's helped. If it has, drop it a like. And also, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Whatever time of day you're watching this, have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening. And I will see you again tomorrow for Tips Tuesday. See you then.